Hey everybody, welcome today for another live stream on YouTube. And I had a little live stream already this afternoon, and that was on Facebook. And what I did is simply by only picking Go2, I'm making a from scratch each sound. Maybe you want to hear it later on. Let me check if everybody is there in the chat room. Yeah, I see. And we have audio, sound, and video are okay. That's good. And so I'm gonna see. Oh, is this working here? I'm gonna say hello. Yeah, we have another live stream. Today's subject, because that was a wish from one of the customers to talk about this laser harp sound. So I will do this later on. First, maybe nice to mention a few little things. We have this update for Quad and Go2 now released, and but maybe first let me show you what I did this afternoon very briefly. So what I did is, you see here, I made a few bars and I simply started from scratch. So well, let's make this bar 1 and bar 22. So here we go. And here you see, and I simply started with the hi-hat and created a hi-hat using Go2. And this is simply to show that you can, even with a synthesizer, which I think Go2 is not a simple synthesizer, still has many cool, unique features. But if it is a synthesizer, even without the many pages you will find on a Predator, so if you see Predator here, you see a lot more controls compared to Go2, but you still can do some cool stuff. If you have a good sound engine, you also can make good drum sounds. So what I used here is noise, but I also used here in the modulation section the note to have the different times in decay and release. So if I play up, it's a longer sound. So that's the upper note is the open hi-hat and the lower key are the lower. And this way you can have essentially a hi-hat sound. So what I create now is simply like done on for instance the older drum computers or the organs which you had, you know, the blip and blob organs from the 70s. They created with noises all the drums. So, and then I created, of course, a kick sound with Go2. That one I created a harp sound. And then I created a snare, even a snare with Go2. Added a bit of distortion for a little bit of edge. Then there was, I also made a kind of bass sound. So this. And a chord sound, a bit what we did similar last week. just, I think it was 40 minutes just doing from scratch presets with GoTo, simply to show what you can do with a synthesizer, which only costs 49 bucks. Isn't that amazing? It's really a very good engine behind it. And today I started with playing over this. A very dirty Predator sound with having a arpeggiator playing here, a sequencer mode, time mode normal. I could toggle them. There's a lot of distortion. So very dirty sound. Okay, so that's what I did this afternoon. And what I will do is make this zip file with the GoTo presets. I make it in the description below the YouTube video so that you can download. Included the laser harp things, which I'm going to discuss in a second. So, okay, apart from that, we have GoTo here. We have, of course, released a new version of GoTo, which you can download. If you have Explorer 6, you can download on GoTo also from the download section. You go more down in the Explorer 6 and download the single installer. Same is for Quad. And we also updated RPA mod in Explorer 6 and RP Delay, but maybe you downloaded them already. So RP Delay has also now 125% size version, and RPA mod I mentioned also has these different sizes. Okay, so back to GoTo. We have in GoTo, we did a few little bug fixes, a small one, but we have also this Sangini project. Hopefully I pronounce this correctly, which yeah, are some very nice presets. And I see he's in the chat room. Yeah, and he also did send us some nice presets for Quad. But let me first play a few of these. I think some nice effect sounds. Of course, these presets we already had in the inside the early bird presets, which I mentioned. So now it's in the official version of GoTo. We added this this bank with a lot of sequencer sounds. Maybe you can recall it from last week or the week before. So one of the interesting sounds what I found is this this slapstick, bass slapstick, almost sounds like a real. Really like a slap bass. So yeah, some very good presets. We had them in the early preset banks, but they're now in the full version of GoTo. And many thanks for this Sangini project for this lovely presets. So that's what we did. And we had a little bug. If you go here to dial, sometimes it switches over. But here we had a problem which I noticed. If you have the release, it was an older problem that you could, it did not, if you had a 0 value, it was very hard to move the release. So that we increased and is also fixed. Yeah, the other thing, of course, is that we have in Quad over 200 new presets, people. And maybe you saw already this YouTube video where I play some of the presets. So let's open Quad. And then we have 50 new lovely presets, for instance, from Jamal. So let's play a few. So I shut down now my microphone and I play a few of these new presets. If you go to the manager of Quad, what you can do is order by date, and then you have the last 50 ones on top. Because then it orders the preset list ordering to date, and then the latest, the newest one pop up in the top. So I will play a few of them. found this one almost like a 80s, like the 80s you had sample strings. And of course, they had not much data, so they always had a typical sound. And this, of course, is not a sample strings, but it's really gives this impression of an 80s string sound. Some very interesting effect sounds. And this one is also great, Olympus, and very interesting choir sound. It's almost sounding like a 80s sample, and it's all synthesis, so that's really cool. Of course, you could play this YouTube video which I uploaded so here, let's see what we have here. A Predator sound. So always interesting journey sounds. Okay, so these are the Predators. So these are 50. I just played them very short. I mean, there are 50 sounds you could play. Let's see, maybe one. Oh yeah, I had that one already. Yeah, the other one is the Dithering Bank. It's a very nice one. String model. So I play a few sounds of the Dithering Bank. Very percussive. One of its coolest sound he did mention is Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. My precious. Yeah, you see, Quad is a very different synthesizer because of this phase distortion inside of it, the wave shaper. You do totally create different sounds. It's very interesting. Okay, so let's click another one. The sitar was also very nice. I played that one. So, I mean, in total, over 200 new presets for free. Isn't that great? Then he had also, let me see where I can find that one. Not order by date, because yeah, you see 69 presets. Evangelist Go East, if you know his city, China. So yeah, there's many presets inside this one. Sound effects. So, oh, and yeah, you see some of them are also played in this YouTube video. So all these new sounds, I picked up particular ones to show you. And yeah, then we have the Sangini project, also some very nice. This one is one of my favorites, Strangest Paths. cool, isn't it? So I should shut down my microphone. Yeah, this is a very cool sound. Beep FX on Sangini. Most likely, this is how my brains sound in the early morning. They sound something like. Cool, isn't it? What a crazy synthesizer this is. Okay, let me see. And I did rename this patch. I did rename because it remind me on a sub-cello bass, and so a kind of cello type. So yeah, there's one of the presets. Walk pad is very nice. Really moves around. Yes, indeed. The Sanguinea project means he said he tried to go far how you could get with the sinus wave. Yeah, very far with. You see here, sinus waves to our use is amazing by using the phase distortion in the sounds you get. And then, of course, in combination with the filters. Let me see if I have another one, which was... Yeah, this one was also very dirty. The uranium bass. And also here you see sinus wave is the bass and the rest is done by using the phase distortion wave shaping. I mean, we added a lot of other waveforms, but you see already with only the sinus waveform you can do a lot of crazy stuff. So this is the new version of Quad. You can download it. 200 plus presets are inside of it. Excuse me. And so many thanks go out for, of course, for Sangini project, of course. I butchered it again, and Diederik, the other bank, and then what have we also? Of course, the Jamal presets in Jamal 02. And I mentioned this in the info section of the download page, so check it out. And we also will, waiting now on publishing of the rec extension versions, will have also these new presets of Quad. So also the rec extension guys, you will get this new presets hopefully tomorrow or Monday. Okay. Then what I also did, but that was because last live streaming, you can recall I talked about the arpeggiator in Go 2. Can you recall that? Let's see. If I can pick it here. Simply pick here, Go 2. Mute. So the presets we did last time, I added them to the factory patches. So it's one was called Groove Like. No, that's the wrong one. Come on, Groove Like, this one. So nice for... Oh no, it plays the wrong chords. That's me, of course. But then we had this one. Also, remember keyboard velocity and trance, where we had this down here, this velocity keyboard set to keyboard, where you could make the accents using the keyboard. Oops. I need to mute a few things. So if I play now, by hitting different velocity values, you have really the little accents. Let's give a bit more arpeggiators. So this is a feature inside each of our sequences arpeggiator, is that you can have this dial fully to the left. The velocity setting of each step of the arpeggiator are dominant. If you go fully to the right, it's the input of the keyboard. And the velocity, you see, it's added in the filter. And when I play soft, it's soft. And when I hit a harder note, so you can make really very different chords. And these are, I had a few variations during the live stream using the high pass filter. Maybe you can recall it again. So let me shut down the mic. It also made variations, number 3. Okay. Having a phaser. And then another one, number 4, which has a very thick chorus on it. Number 5 is also with unison and so I added these presets also are now in the factory patches. So I made them downloadable in the live stream, but they are now tagged with a category and checked on volume, so they're now here inside the Harp and sequencer sounds, and also in synth sounds. We had a few weeks ago a nice one that was a nice synth sound, so that one is also inside the factory patches. And with pads we had these moving pads. Maybe you can recall it again. This which was, I think, last week. So these chord sounds, which had a tempo basing. So I have this one kind of side pad. So let's have a little bit more sequence. So these are 3 presets with the chord. Well, what you hear is this one. Let's make it a bit better. It's the bass sound. Okay, now let's try again with this pad sound. course, you need to start on the first beat because it's running free. You see, it keeps on running. So when sounds like a bit like a side pad, and the other ones we had last week. And that was a synthesizer which costs only $49. Isn't it amazing? That was the last one. So these are also now in the factory patches. Okay, so that apart from about the new things. So for go-to indie pads, a few, synth, one new, Harp, sequences, and of course the new one, the Sanguinea project bank with 88 great presets for go-to. Okay, so now let's go back to the theme of today. And you see, I'm a bit abstracted by all these sounds. I go now to the laser harp from Jean-Michel Jarre, and I did record this from YouTube, and it should be something in sound like this. So here we have a, okay, that one is gone now. So this is Jean-Michel Jarre playing live, the sound, and I started already with the B.i.T. So it's of course classic synth sound. That is what it is. It seems, excuse me. It seems that he used the Alka syntax for it. And a sync sound, it means essentially is that the oscillator 2, and you see here, sync to 1, means that it synchronizes to the first oscillator, and it means to the start of the wave. It synchronizes. I explained this in my book as that the one oscillator grabs the other oscillator, and if you then detune this other oscillator, and especially with an envelope, you really get this typical sound. So if I would only play now this oscillator 2 without sync, so I put it off, sync to 1, I put it off here, then I have your pitch envelope. But the oscillator, when it syncs to the other oscillator, it really can't change from pitch, so it changes in harmonics. That's the side effect of it. So if you put now sync on, you get this typical sound. And this is essentially the sound what was created, and it can be done with a 2-oscillator synthesizer like a Jupiter 8, Prophet 600, but not, for instance, with a Uno 60, because Uno 60 doesn't have 2 oscillators. You always need 2 oscillators. So again, sync to 1, which you see in B.i.T up here, doesn't mean tempo sync. No, the oscillator, the start point of the oscillator synchronizes to the start point of oscillator 1. And if you start then changing the pitch of this oscillator, which is in sync, you get this typical sound. So it's legato here. Let's make it poly. This is one with filter 2, save preset. Then I have also one with another filter. Let me see. Okay, now I lost here. With a Moog filter type. It's a bit different, so let's listen to the original one again. Need to go back to Cubase. Yeah, somebody does mention the Poly 6. With the Poly 6, it's also not bad. So this is how I get as close as possible with B.i.T. I created 2 versions. So what I took is 2 oscillators. Then of course, yeah, it's again, oscillator 2 is in sync, and then it gets a pitch envelope. What I could have done in B.i.T is go to the advanced panel and use there the envelope, but to show it, because essentially I think that in the syntax, Jarre used also the, for instance, the filter envelope, because the first analog synthesizers mostly only had 2 envelopes, one in the filter, one on the volume. So one of them should be used then on the pitch of the one oscillator. So in this case, I use the filter envelope also on the oscillator 2 semi, so on the pitch. So here you see the modulation. Yeah, only oscillator 2 misses a bit of low end, so I'd still mix oscillator 1. This is a saw wave. You hear a kind of stereo affix, what I hear in the track from Jarre. So, well, this is live played, so it could be the room, but yeah, so of course it's not 100%, but this is the type of sound which was created, and of course I would need it next to each other to have it 100% right. How much is the difference in volume? First one, and so it's always in the little details, but this one comes pretty much close. I have 2 variations, this number A, and then number B, which has a different filter type. Yeah, so this one I created. Then let's go to Predator. With Predator I did the same. Also in Predator we have the option. Okay, I need to go to the laser harp. Where is it again? I'll go to the manager, it's a bit faster. Version A. So you see, it's a bit different, because the main engine is a bit different. But also here you see 2 oscillators. Oscillator 3, saw waveform, and oscillator 1. Also saw waveform, only that one's 1 octave lower. And I use also in the mod matrix the filter envelope 1 to change the semi of oscillator 2. So this one was the last one I was working on a bit. Excuse me. So let's hear how much this one is getting close to the original one. No, in the beginning is better. Yeah, it should maybe, let's see. So by changing the pitch here and the amount, you can have a lot of. So I'm still here in this area. I think this one is a bit longer. maybe you also can use a different waveform. So I can use a square, but then you hear that it's really different. That's more, so it's definitely a saw waveform he used. Or what also could be is a saw waveform, but a square is a bit of symmetry change. So if I change the symmetry, but I don't think that it was a, let's listen again. Could be. Could be an option. I can save this one as save preset as B, but you hear the pulse is thinner, different, and the other one had a saw wave. So it well could be, and that's of course very hard to hear because of the sync sound. It's definitely not a square, but it could be. Could be a pulse listening to this. So I would go for this one, but I will save both of them, so I'll make them also downloadable. Let's go back to B.i.T to have the try the square there. So I would go here to again and there, square, and then change the symmetry. Yeah, that well could be that it was not a saw waveform, but a thinner. You see here the pulse, the symmetry. Okay, you see the symmetry. Okay, so it's. So let's see. Play again the original one. Okay, where's the? Yeah. Yeah, I think this is also a good one. So this I will say save preset as Harp C. And if you would take now, so here I change the symmetry a bit. Yeah, nice. Cool. Okay, so yeah, about the syntax, yeah, they were very fragile, what I've heard, a very heavy machine, and they have quite some value. And of course, the advantage is that this one, B.i.T or Predator2, will cost a fraction of it. So, and if you want to like some, I make it downloadable for you. So, and then you let me know maybe which version you like best. Maybe I should play them, all three of them. So, yes. To thin the sound a bit. Yeah, there's of course a low end. I mean, this putting a high pass filter, it's of course the recording of Jarre. Is of course mixed. Maybe they cut down the low end a bit because it's indeed very low end. So what indeed is a good suggestion in the forum from Sangini project to have a high pass filter. Let me see. Whatever. Oh no, this is low pass. Sorry. High pass. It's very close now. So I save this run, save preset as C. Version D, I would call it. Yeah. So I think Jarre Laser Harp D is the best we have until now, isn't it? Alka filters, yeah, I'm not sure what filters they used. What you hear now is the 24 dB low pass filter on, which is a Moog ladder filter, mostly a fat filter sounding filter. So I would pick that one. Yeah, this one is, I think it's most closest what I get until now. I added a bit of chorus to make it a bit more stereo, because that's what you hear in the okay, so you agree? Jarre Laser Harp D, that's the one. Yeah, if I play it next to the original one, so let's do it again. Here it's the original one. It's not bad. It's not 100%, but we have it almost. So I make that one downloadable, inclusive the version we had. So CMM filters. Yeah, that probably filters which are SAM filters which are similar to the Prophet ones. But of course, the distinguished sound is made by using the sync in the oscillator. So, so we had version D, version C, which was to bass C. Yeah, so I go now to manager because I really throw away the other ones. So press delete. Here goes delete. You want to delete? Yes. So it's Laser Harp D, and I rename it as a Laser Harp. Rename Jarre Laser Harp. Maybe okay, here it is. So that will be the download. Jarre Laser Harp for B.i.T. And let's go back again to what is the back panel? Okay. You see the lights go on here in the background, some analog gear. Just kidding. So here, let's go back to Predator2, because there we were close as well. High pass filter also. So let's see how that one is too. I think it's not bad at all. Maybe you could make it a bit dirtier with two classics unison. It's maybe a bit over the top. So this is with two unison combined. I'm not sure if that's better. Without unison, with two classic unison. Yeah, it's... let's play the original one again and let's see if we can get it. Yeah, the one in again, listen to the original one. So the delay is a bit weird. Maybe it should be. So you see how much the high pass filter takes away. Okay, a little less cut off. Yeah, that's my impression too. It was a bit too bright. Well, this is already better. It's a bit different than with B.i.T, but I have a different engine. Okay, so I put rename. I would think this is for now, the best one. Yeah, if I compare this again with the B.i.T, that one is a bit closer than this one. But this one is also not bad. Yeah, okay, I would vote for the B.i.T with the compared to original one. It's not 100% as mentioned, but it's pretty close with B.i.T. Okay, let's give the chat room, if we're still there. Some people join in a bit later on. Yeah, you always can watch it back. If you like the live stream, give it a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Not the same volume. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me see if I can put that back so that we have the same. But because I put off the velocity because the original Alka Syntax didn't have velocity. So okay, let's see, check the volumes. I can see now there is no keyboard tracking in the filter box. So this is the Predator2. Save preset, again, volume, and this is B.i.T. 30 semitones. So the pitch modulation is almost the same. So if you see, go here to the modulation matrix, it's also 30 semitones. So maybe the difference is a bit in the... Yeah, I think this is... Okay, save preset. So we have two of them, Jarre, laser harp for Predator2. Okay, the release is 2. Of course, the release, if when I let go the note, the release time is should on be the same. This one is 1.4 seconds. Should be on about the same. Yeah, this is good. Save preset. Of course, I need to give it a tagging. So if you put it in, that you can find it. This is a synth sound, lead sound, polyphonic. It's bright. It has some FX. Okay. And then I press save here to save that. Then when you go to B.i.T again, then I also need to give it a tagging. This one still sounds more to the one from lead synth. Yeah, not distorted, bright. FX, poly mode, yes. I didn't mention distorted, but that's not really the case. Yeah, it has a bit of amp distortion here, which we didn't do in the Predator2. It's of course the case that a synthesizer, the virtual analog machines from the base, they are very pure. So if you have an analog machine with all the components, you have a kind of basic distortion inside of it. If you would check a sinus waveform on a, let's say, a mini mode, there's always something, in a particular way, maybe distorted because you have all the components. So therefore, we added here the distortion. I did not do that yet to the Predator2. So let's see what we can do. Maybe we have all kind of distortions fold over, what may be nice. Too much. Too much saturator. Yeah. Save preset. So let's play it again for the last time. The Jarre laser harp with Predator2 next to the original one. Here we go. It's more gritty, this one, I think. And then we have the one with B.i.T. So let's try again. This ID, the original recording is from a live concert. Yeah, B.i.T is definitely getting a bit closer. But of course, can you put more sub on Predator? Yeah, well, I cut it a bit. So Predator, so if I go the low pass, the high pass filter. This you mean, maybe I took too much of it. Okay, so save it again. Maybe it was getting too thin, so I had the high pass filter. This without. Yeah, so maybe this is better. Good, so maybe if you're a bit later, check out the start of the, after I finished today, you always can watch it back in the playlist or live streams. Or I had a live stream early this afternoon, spontaneously on Facebook. I grabbed go-to from default. I created the drum sequence sounds, and I also will have these go-to presets in the info section of this YouTube live stream video. Jarre is more twaggy at the start. Yeah, these little details are of course harder to get. For the same reason, there's also compressor on this total mix, which has influence. There are many things which have influence on a particular sound. Yeah, the choir sound, that's a good one. I don't know. Sounds to me like more samples. Yeah, these are samples, definitely. Okay, somebody has a question. That's a good idea. Is there any way to introduce a LFO delay? Fade in via bit via the mod matrix. LFO delay, that's a good point. So for vibrato. Okay, let me see. So when I go to B.i.T, I go to a default preset. Yeah, for instance, for now the modulation on the pitch is instantly there. What you could do is to have the same. For instance, if filter 2, the envelope is not used, then you could say, okay, I take envelope from, or maybe even the advanced page, you could use the envelope from the advanced page. So if the advanced page doesn't have anything here, you could say, use the oscillator 2 envelope. Oscillator 2 envelope, and use this one to control the pitch LFO, which should be inside here. Modulation. Let me see. Should be somewhere. Global. Pitch LFO amount. So now you could have this here slow attack. So let's make it a bit. And then you use this one. Slow attack. Longer attack. No, okay. You know, here it fades in. Okay, I need to have the. Or you could use the filter 2 envelopes. Modulation source, filter 2 envelope. So sometimes the filter envelope or filter 2 is not used, and you also could use that for fading in. So you hear that fades in amount. Of course, it depends how much you want to have that. So really slows the vibratos not straight away. Maybe. So it starts straight and then it goes down. Bit annoying sound. But on a lead sound, this is interesting. It's to beat. It's like a violin. So if you would make this a violin sound, so. So the amount here, the amount controls then how much, and with the amount you need to keep the sustain 100%. That's what another did. So decay, sustain. So now it fades in. And it's more for a, when I made a violin, very... Oh, it's a bit too dry for me. And then you need a pitch envelope also for violin. Let's see, but that I could do with here. Oh, it's a bit drunk. So in the past we made a violin sound. Maybe it should have a high pass filter. Like a violin. Yeah, it's not really. You need also a bit of noise, I think. Yeah, it's not really as it should be. Okay, it takes a bit more work. More easy is to make a... Now it's naturally a soft trumpet sound. Oh. And you could use the fade. Yeah, after touches of also an option to add dynamic, but this is, yeah, it's not really a delay. By using a slow attack, you can fade in the pitch modulation. So if I make it too much. But of course you also can use here, because I do it now in the modulation matrix, but silly me, I also could use it here to control here something different. Mostly we set it to after touch and modulation wheel, because then you can amount control. So after my doing, and I often combine this with the pitch band, so to have an expression more. And what you could do is also this here. You see it on the screen, this thing. I could use the controller, MIDI controller expression on the filter. So let's show you how cool this can be. Okay. So I have now a bit less reverb. No, okay, let's fade out. The envelope makes this sound, this brassy sound. Then I use the expression to open the filter. Yeah. After touch, adding for the vibrato, which is up here, modulation wheel, and a pitch bend I can use also for doing some expression. I'm not sure if you can see everything what I'm doing. Yeah, you see my keyboard, you see also modulation wheel, so that's good. So let's play without the microphone. Maybe a bit too much reverb on it, but you see, you get my point, is that, and if you move too fast, it's of course an expression controller. And here you could use it with delay. And of course, aftertouch also can be used for, so now for the, pitch wheel. I love to use the pitch wheel, and especially if you use the spring, you know. Then, of course, you also could use legato. And legato is portamento, held rate. That kind of thing. Using a second oscillator, then you get this. Okay, same octave. You see the difference between 1 and 2 oscillators. That gets it fuller, the sound. And it really depends on what you need. So if you could, so one oscillator is always useful. It's only different types. Sometimes people think the more oscillators on, the more thicker the sound. But this is really a total, like a lead single trumpet. You can make it also a hobo, square. Hobo has. So I have a reed instrument. And then you have, of course, the expression here. So a bit too much reverb. Okay, damping maybe a bit more. So I have more a so really a reed instrument. And what you also could do is now the symmetry is each time the same. What you could do is modulation, velocity, and use the velocity to control a bit the symmetry of this waveform, to give it a aliveness. So I go here to symmetry. You see, each time it's now a bit different. Now a bit low end. Very thin sound. Yeah, one oscillator sounds with these type of sounds, reed type thing. One oscillator sounds essentially. Okay, guys, yeah, we are a bit over time, but that doesn't matter. So you see with expression, which is outside this one, you can control different things. And velocity, yeah, we had quite some subjects today. Next week, there is no live stream on Thursday because then I'm on holidays, being lazy. But maybe I do on the Wednesday evening one or on the Tuesday evening. I need to check that out. So maybe on another date I do next week still my last live stream. But then I will mention this on Twitter and on Facebook. So Ubu Baby. Yes, indeed. Here, Ubu. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. So if you missed it, you can watch it back in the playlist, live streams. Then you can watch it from the beginning, the whole story, everything what I told today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I see sometime Wednesday, please. Yeah, next Wednesday. Okay, let's do next Wednesday then the live stream. But check on Facebook and Twitter that the time setting. Most likely the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and enjoy creating music.